I wanted some quick and easy views, so I went and bought a miniature of Monkey Shoulder. If you're a fan of refreshing, blunt honesty, then don't forget to subscribe to the oh god, I feel sick. Yeah. Why do I put videos on YouTube? I'm so bad at like the whole infrastructure of demanding loads of things of people, and you've got to smile and have perky tits. I don't fit the mould, do I? Really. Anyway, Monkey Shoulder. What do I know? What do I know? Shit, what do I know? It's a blended malt. Yes. Blended whiskies get shat on from a great height, and the reason for that is that some of the more readily available ones are shit. Looking at you, Johnny Walker White Walker. It's not the worst I've had, actually. I'm looking at you, Famous Grouse. Oh! Mo is back. Pardon me. Come here, you odd feral animal. Have you been having tea parties with the ferrets again? You and your ways. You and your adventures. Hello. Say hi. Say hi. Do you want to join us? People are double whammy. You get a blended whiskey that everybody and their nan has talked about already on the internet, and you get a cat that is desperate to get out of my clutches. He does not want to be here. William Grant and Sons. That's where I was going with this. Glenfiddich, Balvenie, Kininvie. They own them, and they go in this. Blended malt whiskey. It's all malt whiskey in there. There's no grain. Grain, one or two categories. It's either the cheap and nasty shit, or it's the cheap and really fucking good shit. And it can be difficult to tell sometimes because nobody really wants to touch it too much. Even kind of like the evangelicals of the whiskey world, kind of like, oh yeah, grain whiskey's really good. It's like, well, what's good? And like, well, I had this indie bottling once, about 5 years ago. You can't get your hands on it anymore, but that was nice. Like, that's useful information. Thank you very much for that. But anyway, no grain whiskey into this one. It's 40% chill filtered, not natural colour, all those fun things. But I mean, within context to this whiskey as well, it's meant more for mixing, which I think is a bit of a shame. I've had this in the past and I haven't minded it too much, but they do them in batches, so it could well have changed. I said batches there, not batshit. Apparently that's a thing that people hear sometimes. I don't know, maybe you just need to turn your hearings aids up. Hearings aids, that's... Oh man, I'm not doing well, am I? Do you want to go back out? In the glass is whiskey coloured. Can tell that because it's been made whiskey coloured through the use of artificial colouring. I say artificial colouring, it's not its natural colour, so therefore... What? You just came back in. That's a curtain, Mo. You can't eat it. No, you can't. Stop eating the furniture. Here, tell you what, try... Give us a sniff of that. Alright, I'll do all the work myself then. Prick. And you can shut up and all. It's quite cereally, actually, which is a little bit unusual. It's reminding me a little bit of like cornflakes, and it's like honey nut cornflakes. What? Quite vanilla-y. Pardon me a moment. If anybody is looking to inherit a clinically insane grey cat, do get in touch. It's quite barley forward, actually. It smells like a malt whiskey, but to be fair, it's malt whiskies that go in it, so that makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, it's a very pleasant, unoffensive nose. There's none of those kind of like harsh notes of like, there's no, certainly not like Johnny Walker. And yes, I'm naming and shaming. I don't care if you've got a 9-floor fucking tower in Edinburgh now. Product's not up to snuff sometimes. We've covered all the Johnny Walkers actually, and there'll be things and floaty nonsense and clickable hoo-has. Yeah, very mild, vanilla-y, kind of pastry, buttery kind of a smell. But people don't spend that long sniffing whiskey. I mean, unless you're like, you know, at the Whiskey Experience, in which case suddenly everyone's like swirling and be like, oh yes. I actually have seen somebody nose a whiskey like a bottle of poppers before. It's really creamy. It's like gold top milk as a mouthfeel. Yes, I am avoiding using that particular word, and I'm sure you're all going to refrain downstairs in the comments. I need to get a t-shirt made with that on or something. I'll make a fortune. Ooh, there's an idea. Should I do a t-shirt? I could do a merkin, that'd be different. It's quite simple. It's like a cinnamon French toast kind of a flavour. It's buttery, it's very dairy heavy. The alcohol burn, though present, is not offensive and it's not overwhelming, unlike other blends that we've already mentioned. And there is a bit of like a corn element in there, which again is weird because there's no grain in this. It is quite simplistic. There's like an element of like candied violets in there as well. There is like a little bit of a floral component. I can't really pick out any of the signatures of any of the whiskies that make it, and I have tried Balvenie, I've tried Kininvie, and I've tried Glenfiddich. And they do have a notable, if sometimes a little bit muted signature. But when you marry them together, it becomes its own thing. It's inoffensive. Is it complicated? Not really. Could you sip it neat? Yeah, absolutely. There's no issue with sipping that neat. It's quite a nice, easy sip and forget by the fireplace kind of a whiskey. It's not one that you have to kind of like, you know, go all, oh, I'm getting notes of, you know, you can just drink it and just enjoy it. Likewise, I'd imagine it mixes very well. I'm not going to be mixing it today because I actually don't think I've got anything to mix it with. I had a great Christmas, I think. I don't really remember it. There's a lot of like blank spots. Anyway, yeah, that was Monkey Shoulder. This is probably the worst video of Monkey Shoulder you will watch, which is fine because there's loads of other ones out there because every fucker gets round to this bloody stuff eventually. With good reason. It's approachable, accessible, cheap, and nice. My scores will be down below. I have a scoring system. It's a little bit unorthodox, but just go with it. They're all difficult to follow, if we're bluntly honest, but we just kind of go with it anyway because there's an air of authority about it. Fuck, there was a moment halfway through that I thought I was going to pass away. Comment down below, do you like Monkey Shoulder? Do you drink it on the reg? What do you think of blended whiskies? Have you got a grain whiskey that you tried like 5 years ago that's no longer in production that you're like, oh yeah, that was a good one? Or actually, if you've got one that is in constant production, that would be more useful. Thumb this video because I fucking told you to, and subscribe to the channel, all that nonsense, and if you want to chuck us a quid every once in a while, there's links to my Patreon down below. I'm done begging for your attention now. Go about your day, and do join me next time where I'll be drinking something else.